So I don't really think that there really is like less people buying art. I think what's happening when you see numbers like, or saying that the art market's down. I've been having a pretty decent year as 2024 comes to a close. Better than 2023, better than the year prior. Part of that is because myself, I've been creating more and making more, and also growing as an artist, and I am not really into participating with the whole art world um as far as like galleries and exhibitions go, because it's a bit antiquated. So I do get why they have it that their numbers are down, because I don't think that and this is something that we see in a lot of the industries that have art and artists, is like the gatekeepers aren't the same gatekeepers they used to be. Like I really do feel like some point, maybe like before the pandemic, they saw the writing on the wall with how just advanced technology is and social media is, and its ability to connect people to people. I think the gatekeepers that used to do a great job of keeping gates and actually having a flow of connection between people, they saw it. They saw that it was going to be time for them to move on, and they're not going to have as much power and influence as they once had, and they're not going to be able to decide what is valuable and what is not valuable. And I feel like we see it in the film industry, we see it in the music industry, and or see it in the art industry. Why would I want a gallery to take my pieces and hold on to it for months and months and have exclusive rights to selling my work? And when someone comes in wanting to buy it, they tell them no, or they don't have a price, or they tell them to find like there has to be some sort of connection. Like it's so antiquated and so BS, and I don't think that it is doing a good job of keeping up with how humans behave. So like, I mean, most of the people who collect my work are people who are not traditionally art collectors, but they do want to buy art. And the galleries and the art advisors and the people who have been in the middle of the artist and the art collector, or the art buyer, or the patron, whatever you want to say, call it now. But like the people who've been in the middle, they've been doing their best to set the value, but the value really has always been between the artist and the patron, because the artist and the patron are the ones that matter. And now that we have social media where it is at, we need less and less people in the middle who are going to connect these two people and then decide like what the value is. Like, I don't think that galleries are going to go away. And I think that, at some point in my life, in my artistic career, I will, do some things with galleries. But right now, as it's, is like the only thing I would need with a gallery and want from a gallery is their four walls and I guess their name potentially. But as I build my own, following, I need that less and less. Maybe the four walls would be nice, but that would probably be for a night, not for them to hold on to my pieces and take their 30, 40, 50, 60%. No, I think that's the reason why we're seeing art world numbers down. Like people aren't buying less art. You just can't count it anymore because people aren't going to the middle for the art. They're going straight to the artist. And that's the way I think that it should be. As an artist myself, I get, that we've built up these institutions and these names, and that they do have some historic value, but I think that's kind of coming to an end, and we're going to see less and less. And I think we're going to see more independent galleries that actually, work with artists. We're going to see more artists run galleries. We're going to see a lot of different ways of getting an artist actually connected with the people, because the way the galleries now operate is not doing it. The way the art fairs operate. It's not doing it. Yes, there's still millions of dollars of art sold and collected and traded, but like mostly dead artists. And that's not helpful for the living artist that wants to actually make a living doing this. So I don't really, I don't really care so much for the the notoriety or the press or whatever it might be that I'll get from working with a bigger gallery because I don't see a future for a lot of these ways of doing business. And, for me, I am an artist, but I also have experience running my own business as a solopreneur. So I try to not mix the two too much because I do want to always create for myself and put it out there versus creating for others. But when it comes to the marketing aspect of things, then at that point is when I start, deciding and figuring out how I'm going to tell that story for those who I believe would resonate with the pieces I create. And I think that, as an artist, being able to explain and tell the story and really also just have empathy for the potential buyer, or just even the viewer of whatever piece of content I create, telling the story of the art is is really helpful. It's a really big step and a really big part of my 2025. I've been creating like crazy for the last 3 years, and now that I have all this body of work, the focus for me now is more on the storytelling. Yes, there are still ideas in my head that I want to get out there. There's even, bigger ideas and different mediums as far as going into film and jewelry making that I want to get into, but uh what's more important for me as an artist that I think no one would have said 5, 10 years ago, but for me right now, what's most important is having a good way of storytelling so that I can actually resonate and reach new audiences. And at the very least, share the values that come from the pieces I create and the reason why I create. Because I mean, these paintings, they're one of one. These sculptures are one of one. I'll maybe do a series of them, but like I only have one to give. Maybe at some point I'll do some limited release prints, but that's just a copy of the one piece. So I don't need thousands of people to buy my one painting because that's not possible. So for me to really become a good storyteller and connect with just one person that wants to be a part of what it is I'm creating, that's that's what matters to me. So with what I see in the art world going forward, I don't really like making content that is necessarily for other artists, but I do think it's something that is I want to share for other artists because I do get asked this quite a bit. It's just learn how to tell your story and to connect with people and how to connect with an audience because the galleries, the art advisors, the the even the nice friendly people in museums or whatever, those middlemen are not going to do that for you. And right now they are also scrambling to try to figure out how do they connect with you, or at least the smart ones are trying to figure that out. The ones that haven't realized that things are changing are not, and that is the last person who I want representing me. So I hope this helps with you looking for art and looking for artists to purchase from without trying to go through those traditional routes, because people are switching from, just like there's a reason why you guys brought me in here to talk to you about this, because you want to get into the artist's head and figure out how that you can start participating in art without having to go through those traditional routes. And I don't think I'm the only artist thinking this way. I don't really pay attention to what too many others are doing. And I know that there are a lot of artists who want to go through that traditional route, and that's still something that's big for them. But I do believe that there's so much more potential in actually connecting with artists that are creating something based off the values and the principles that you live by. So I do believe this helps. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. It's Uzama, Uzoma, at UZOMAOBASI.com. Yeah, and you can go there and check out some of the work I've created. But I just was asked to put this together to talk about just my philosophy in what I see in the art world and what I see as far as art collecting and what the not even the future of it, but the present of it. So thank you for your time.